All right, let's talk about something we all deal with, AI phone assistants. We're going to dive into how to build one that people actually want to talk to. It's all about creating a bot that's genuinely helpful, not just, infuriating.
Come on, we've all been there, right? You're stuck in some automated phone loop, mashing the zero key, maybe even shouting, "Let me talk to a person," at your phone. It is a uniquely modern kind of frustration. But what if I told you the problem isn't the tech?
That's the secret. It's almost never the technology's fault, it's the design behind the tech. And the best part? That's something you can absolutely fix. So let's walk through a really simple, three-step framework for designing a conversational AI that actually works. Okay, so step one is all about the blueprint. This is the absolute foundation. I mean, you can't build a house without a blueprint, right? Same thing here. This is where we define the AI's core mission, its personality, its whole reason for existing. Get this part right, and everything else just snaps into place.
And at the very heart of that blueprint is what we call the prompt. Seriously, you should think of the prompt as the AI's DNA. It's way more than a script. It's the core instruction manual that tells the AI who it is, what its job is, and the hard and fast rules it has to play by.
Now, it's super important to understand. There are two parts to this. You've got the system prompt. That's the AI's internal mission statement. It's what it tells itself. Then you have the initial message, which is the very first thing it says out loud. You need both, a solid internal identity and a great opening line.
So what makes a prompt actually good? Well, first, be specific. Don't be vague. Give it clear examples, like if they ask about billing, ask for their invoice number. And you've got to have a plan for when it gets stuck. Telling it to say, I'm not sure about that, let me get you to someone who can help, is way better than letting it just make stuff up. Oh, and keep it short. A concise prompt means a faster, more reliable AI.
Okay, so our AI has its mission. The blueprint is solid. Now it's time for step two. We need to give our AI a brain. This is how we make our AI not just friendly, but actually smart. The knowledge base is exactly what it sounds like. Think of it as an external hard drive for your AI's brain. Instead of trying to cram every single piece of information into its core prompt, you give it this huge library it can search through instantly to pull out the right answer to a really specific question.
So how do you actually get the info in there? Well, you've got two main choices. You could just copy-paste some stuff right into the prompt. And, for your top 5 FAQs, that's fine. But for anything bigger, the dedicated knowledge base feature is the way to go. You can upload entire PDF manuals or even just give it your website URL to scrape. It's just so much more powerful and way more reliable. And you might be thinking this sounds super complicated, but it's really not. It's basically a simple 6-step process. You just pop over to your dashboard, click Create, give it a name, and start adding your sources, like those PDFs or URLs we talked about. The system does its thing, and once it says active, you just connect it to your AI. Done. It turns a big task into a simple checklist. All right, we have a blueprint and we have a brain. Our AI knows its job and it has all the right information. Now for the final and maybe the most important step, the polish. This is where we fine-tune all the little details of how the AI speaks to make it sound less like a robot and more like a real person.
So let's talk about something called voice activity detection, or VAD. Don't worry, it's way simpler than it sounds. It's just how the AI listens for a pause to figure out when you're done talking. This is the secret sauce that keeps you from talking over each other in that awkward conversational dance. And getting this right is a real balancing act. If you set the sensitivity high, the AI becomes super patient. It'll wait and wait, which is great for not interrupting, but it can lead to those weird, awkward silences. Set it too low, and it's lightning fast, but it might jump in and cut you off if you just pause for a second to think. Finding that sweet spot is totally key to a natural flow.
And there are other little tweaks that make a world of difference. You can adjust how fast or slow the AI talks to match your company's vibe. You can even add in some natural-sounding filler words like and so it sounds more human. Here's a pro tip. Let people interrupt the AI, but make the AI's own responses nice and short. That really helps avoid those moments where you're both talking at once.
Of course, all these cool features don't mean a thing if the AI can't speak your customer's language, right? Well, the good news is, modern platforms support a massive range of languages and accents. We're talking different flavors of English, Spanish, and over 40 other languages. You can truly build a global assistant.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground. So let's just pull it all together and recap this simple but really powerful toolkit we've built for designing an awesome conversational AI. It really just boils down to these 3 layers. First, you start with the blueprint that gives the AI its purpose. Then, you add the brain that gives it the knowledge to do its job. And finally, you add the polish to make it all sound natural and human. Blueprint, brain, and polish. That's it. That's the whole formula.
See, when you focus on the design, you can turn a frustrating machine into a genuinely helpful assistant. The tools are all here, and now you have the framework. So really, the only question left is, what amazing conversation are you going to teach your AI to have first?